He's all right, Daddy's all right. They just seem a little weird. Surrender.
Coming to the fair.
Anyway, yeah, Andy getting ready for the fair.
Yeah.
Man, it's scorching this weekend. What was it yesterday? 196 in Great Falls?
Something like that.
Oh, man, Saturday. What'd you do? Wife had mowing the lawn again?
No, let's see, what did I... no, she went to work, I think. Yeah.
So you were stuck doing it, or did you just say the hell with it, let it go?
No, it's good. She did it, soon enough.
I mowed on Saturday, and I started at 8 in the front, at 8 sharp. And by the time I was done, it was too late, man. Sun was beating down. Oh my God, it's like Death Valley. My home is Death Valley. Anything else going on with the wife? She work? Where's your wife work?
She's a nurse, and a hospital nurse.
In a local hospital.
And the market value on an RN right now is fantastic. So, she's doing well.
Well, because everyone has COVID.
No.
No one has COVID.
Because they're just paying them to work so good.
You pointed out to me yesterday on a text last night that there is a new 988 National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Yes, there is.
Nationally, nationally. We've reached a point in society where suicide's a big deal. It's a huge deal. For every one suicide death, there are 4 hospitalizations because of an attempted suicide. There are 8 emergency room visits related to suicide. There are 27 self-reported incidents of suicide attempts that were failure, and a reported 275 people considering suicide. Andy, that's released by the Center for Disease Control. Those are staggering. For every one death, it's amazing. It's just amazing to me. Wouldn't the front office do freaking damn staple these papers together? For crying out loud. Mental illness and suicide, the statistics for suicide alone, the most people that are committing suicide in the United States are men. They commit 80% of suicides. Of those men, the leading nationalities are white and Native Americans. Black and Hispanics are barely on the scale. 50% of all suicides, whether it be men or women, use guns. I mean, it seems like a pretty easy, painless way out. Suicide is the leading cause of death in the United States in 2021. A staggering 48,979 people died at their own hands by suicide. It's almost as, we're talking 48,000. Great Falls has got what, 60?
Yeah, 65.
Yeah, so pretty much half the town, over half.
Yeah.
That's staggering to anybody local looking at those numbers. It's just staggering, the amount of people. Of course, Suicide has many reasons and causes. Mental illness, of course, leads the way. No surprise there. Clinical depression and depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, people that are victims of abuse, whether it be emotionally, physically, sexually, rape victims, war, people that have had violent acts committed against them, home invasions, veterans. Did you know, Andy, about 20 vets die by suicide a day?
Every day?
Every day.
Wow.
Every day. 20 of our vets. The U.S. rate for depression and mental illness, 6.3% of our population, again by the Center of Disease Control. I'm not a news outlet. I'm a podcaster. I make opinions. When I post stats, I try to look them up, confirm them, so that I don't look like a total Nimrod moron. The numbers for depression worldwide is 264 million people have depression, post-traumatic stress worldwide. Depression in the United States, like I said, accounts for 6.3%. Post-traumatic stress accounts for another 5.8%. So we've got suicide prevention line now. We have mental health crisis lines. As a podcaster and someone, a free thinker, I just have to think, what in the hell's going on? Why is this all necessary now? It's probably has a lot to do with the times that we live in. You know, I talk about when I was a kid this, and when I was a kid that. And I was a kid, I was on the playground. But it was a simpler time. Okay, it was an easy going porch, sit and let's play baseball in the backyard kind of time. Not shoot each other in the backyard kind of times like it is now. Society has changed. Why? I don't know why. I can tell you what's going on in society. I don't think that social media is a really good thing. I think people get a license to do and say what they want. They're mean, they're hurtful, they're spiteful. They're just on their computer. Look at me, I'm just on my computer, and fuck this guy. I don't agree with him. That's kind of where we are as a society. Society is mean. We're mean to each other. We're assholes. We have shootings at fast food joints because they didn't get mayonnaise. People are getting road rage, running cars onto the sidewalk, running people over. People are beating up old people of Asian descent in New York because they're Asian. If you're pro or bullshit, or don't even get on the train because there's threatenings of life going back, you know. The pro-lifers are willing to kill people if they don't agree with the pro-lifers. It's like, isn't that kind of like, it's not an oxymoron, but it's kind of weird that, you know, we will fuck you up if you... Politics has driven a wall in this country. We're just a mean species anyway. Okay? I mean, we're just assholes. We beat our wives, we beat our kids, beat the dogs, get gangs, we trophy hunt beautiful animals. Speaking of trophy hunt, not get off track, but there was a hunter, Andy, in South Africa, who was a well-known hunter, trophy hunter, found shot in his truck in the gates of the reserve.
Really?
Poetic justice. I wonder who shot him.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. Maybe one of those elephants figured out how to work that rifle finally, huh?
I know. Well, the elephants learned how to get... Elephants...
They got a very good memory, you know. All they had to do is...
Guns don't kill people. Elephants with guns kill people. Anyway, back to where I was at. Sorry, but I got sidetracked. You know, elephants shooting guns is a big story. Politics. It's driven it's not even wall, wouldn't be even good to say. It's driven people, so there's lines drawn. And if you don't agree with one or the side or the other, you're an asshole, you're an idiot, you're a moron, you're less than. Okay? No wonder people are depressed. Suicide. Shit, half the population is telling the other half of the population, no matter which side you're on, that the other side's wrong. They don't have a brain in their head. They're stupid as fuck. And the stuff on the stuff on the internet is just crazy. Then they really go crazy. Let's shame people. Let's post pictures of people. Let's talk about people. Let's drama. If you think the bars have drama, shit. The bars is like a nursery school compared to the internet. Politics is just you know it, you see it. Andy,
Yeah.
I follow political people in both Great Falls, Missoula, and the city of Boston area. They all have different viewpoints, and there's only one common denominator. The viewpoints that they have are different than the whoever, and people just go ape shit on the news feeds. You're wrong. You're stupid. You should kill yourself. Wait a minute. 988, some mental suicide. Knock that kind of talk off. People are bashed for their sexual orientation. I'm gay. Go back in the closet. What the hell? What the fuck? Politics drives it. People drive it that think they know that shit. There are so many disease specialists, political experts, whatever is going on in society on Facebook that I don't even need to watch the goddamn news because everybody on Facebook's an expert. And if you don't agree with them, you're an idiot. You're worthless. Old white men.
Oh, no.
That's all I'm going to say. Just old freaking white men. What the hell? Political name-calling, dragging each other through the mud. The worst of society is now on the internet, on Facebook, in their jammies, in their underwear, drinking their morning coffee, posting whatever kind of dribble, political left, political right. Some of them are just crazy. You'd think that they thought their opinion really mattered. What else is going on? I'll tell you what. If you're keeping score at home this Monday morning, inflation hit over the weekend 9.1%. 9.1. Let that sink in for a minute. We're almost in the double digit inflation. Double digit inflation. Do you know what that's doing to the weed prices, Snoop? It's driving them up. Up. 9.1%. Why can't... People are going crazy about that. People are suicidal, depressed, because the economy's crashing. I mean, things are so bad. 50 Cent, you know, the rapper, he had to change his name to $1.25 just to keep up with inflation. Eggs, milk, gas, school supplies are coming. Oh yeah, it's past the 4th of July. That means let's get ready to go back to school. All that's coming up. Clothes, shoes, power bill, gas bill, everything's going up. Why? No wonder people are just losing it. People are turning in dogs in record numbers to shelters because they can't afford them anymore. That's why people are depressed. That's why. It's a bleak picture. It's not a rosy picture when I turn on my AP and UPI wires Monday morning to get the show going, and I'm seeing shit. Meanwhile, Biden's in Saudi Arabia. That's right, Saudi Arabia. Begging for oil. Begging for oil. Now, this is the country that he formally called, not too long ago, a pariah. Well, a pariah. That's not a piranha, not a pyromaniac, but a pariah.
Pariah Carey?
Pariah Carey. Yeah. That's why people are... We have suicide record numbers because you can't be black, you can't be gay, you can't be trans, you can't be just a normal white guy that doesn't subscribe to far left or far right. You can't be pro-life, pro-choice. You can't be fly a rainbow flag. You can't fly an American flag. You can't support Lauren Boebert because she's cute. You can't. It's horrible. It's horrible. You can't go anywhere. You can't turn anywhere. Well, I'll just get in the internet and see how things are today. Holy crap, Harold. Everybody's calling me a freaking moron. Well, Mildred, they're calling me a moron too. You can't go to the internet. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't go sit in the coffee shop. You might get shot. Can't go to the movies. Can't go to McDonald's. If you turn on the TV, Biden's in Saudi Arabia. Did I already say he was in Saudi Arabia begging for oil when we have, you know, plenty? Did I mention that we have plenty of oil? We don't need to be begging for him to...
Yeah.
He's a train wreck.
Absolutely.
So... I don't know what the solution is. You know, man's inability to get along, man's cruelty to man. You just disagree with someone on Facebook for just some trivial thing. I was posting on the Detroit Red Wings site. It was last week. Draft. Talking about that. Someone got on there. Jesus Christ, dude. Go back to Toronto. So, we don't have an ability. You know, whether it's a medical... Look at the homeless in America. I drove by our homeless encampment in town here Saturday, Friday. Man. It's like a boom town. And mentally ill, homeless in America is part of the problem. That's why people are suicidal. That's why we need the outline. You know, everybody's problem seems to be, well, shit, if they just got a job and got a house, everything would be fine. Okie dokie then. That societal attitude is part of the reason that we have depression and suicide hotlines, because people think like that. It's not as easy as getting a job, getting a house. Housing, have you seen the housing market? I have a chicken coop, Andy.
Yeah.
I turned it into a studio apartment with an outhouse, no running water. $1,100 a month, first and last month deposit. Bingo! That's what the housing market's like. So, you know, all of this has a total of the suicide. It just staggered me for some reason. I just couldn't get over it that now we have a hotline for, you know, the suicide hotline for depression. I posted something. Depression is not something that you recognize. Depression, post-traumatic stress. I like to tell people from my personal experience that it's a roller coaster for one, but I think the best way that I can explain it to someone who does not have it is that it's like quicksand. I start sinking. The harder I try to make things right, the harder it gets. The more I work, the harder it seems, the worse that it gets, until I just say, fuck it, you know, and I want to give up. You know, those of you who've watched my podcast know the issues. We're not going to bring them all up here. But I'm real good friends with post-traumatic stress, with depression, and with thoughts of maybe, you know, at one time or another in my life, destructive behavior, suicidal behavior, are they one and the same? I was talking about the thing that I posted on Facebook, and it was like a meme, but it was like a collage of people, and it says, this is what depression looks like. And there was pictures of, let's just see, we had Kurt Cobain, Chester Bennington, Whitney Houston, Robin Williams, was it Philip
Seymour Hoffman?
It's Philip Seymour Hoffman, Chris Farley, Marilyn Monroe, Amy Winehouse, Chris Cornell, Lane Staley, Anthony Bourdain. God, I liked it. I loved it. All traveling.
The shows were great, yeah.
Best advice I ever heard from him was, if you're going to move, don't go somewhere you've ever been. Always go somewhere new. But all these people did not commit suicide. All these people had depression. And that's what depression looks like. It looks like a podcaster. It looks like a comedian, an actor, a singer, the guy that lives 3 houses down, the girl that's got a cartload of kids and groceries at Albertsons. So it comes in many shapes and sizes. It has to, if almost 7%, I think it was 6.2% of the United States has it. I know people who have post-traumatic stress. So it's, I think that if we learned, I don't know if we're past that. I'm a product of the 60s and 70s. I see things or saw things a little different. And I don't remember this big a deal when I was a kid. Maybe we didn't have the internet and the news but I think that the solution is if we could try to get along, try to love one another. You know, Andy, I mean, gee, just get along, man.
People smile on your brother.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the only solution I got. But meanwhile, there is a national hotline number. It's 988. If you're suicidal, call that number. Heck, if you're suicidal and you're on my Facebook feed, let me know. We'll see what we can do. So, yeah, I was shocked to see the number. There's multiple reasons it's up, but, you know, it's there for people to call. Mental health lines are there for people to call, so let's utilize them. Let's utilize those numbers if those are problems. Tomorrow night, the All-Star Game. Major League Baseball showcases the All-Star Game once again. It's 5:30 Mountain Standard Time. That's tomorrow. That's Tuesday night. As a kid growing up, the All-Star Game was a big deal because everybody would be on TV for sure at one time. And I'm talking Hank Aaron, Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford, Al Kaline, Harmon Killebrew, you know, Mickey Lolich, Bob Gibson, the Giants. It was a spectacle. It was a big deal, but baseball was America's #1 sport back in the 50s, 60s, and even 70s. You know, and then fast forward the All-Star Game to the 90s, the steroid era. We had, I remember there was like 1 or 2 All-Star games in a row, and they had the home run derby. You had McGuire and Sammy Sosa all hopped up. We're all hopped up on roids. You know, they were bam, 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 looked like a Nintendo game, just, you know, a mile high. It's amazing. Now, the All-Star Game, I should be more into it. I guess old white guys like baseball, but we got 48 days till Michigan Wolverines kick it off. Go Blue! So we got that going for us. Speaking of sports, I mentioned it a little bit ago. The National Hockey League draft was just last week. Now, Steve Yzerman is our general manager in Detroit. Steve Yzerman was our captain for 20 years. Steve Yzerman, when he retired, became general manager at Tampa Bay, moved to Tampa Bay, never sold his property, house, or nothing in Detroit, learned how to be a general manager, took Tampa Bay to the Stanley Cup, got a couple cups with Tampa Bay. So now he's home. A couple years ago he came home. And never sold the house, moved into the whole house. The National Hockey League draft and first days of free agency was like Steve Yzerman was a freaking train wreck, running off the rails, running through a car lot, bang, boom, just other general managers' plans were just, how did he do this? Trust the Yzer plan. Steve's going to have us on the winning track. I'll bet you as quick as next year. He's smart, knows what he's doing, he's winging hard. Scotty Bowman's talking, coming out of retirement, doing what for the Wings, who knows? So, in other news this weekend, did you hear Ivana Trump, 73, 4, 5, somewhere right in there. She died over the weekend. That, of course, is Don Jr., Ivanka's, and Eric's mom. She was a big mover and shaker during the time they were married. It was luxury times, the 80s heyday. Initial reports are saying that she died of blunt chest trauma. She fell down the stairs. Or did she? In Montana, jeez Louise. Where's Hardin? So over by Billings?
Yeah, down in the southeast part of the state there.
Okay, and this was Friday? Thursday?
Yeah, I think it was Thursday.
End of the week?
Happened.
Wind blows up here. Let me tell you, we don't mess around. When it wants to blow, she's hold on to your head, cancel brunch for the goddamn outdoors. It howls. Great Falls is notorious. I've seen weddings canceled, ruined, parades, farmers markets. It's just ruined over the wind. But anyway, they had a dust storm in Hardin. Tragic turn of events. They had a 20-car pileup. Just about 3 miles west of Hardin. They got several people still in the hospital. Last that I saw reports, there are 6 people dead. Tragic. Our hearts go out to the families of all the those impacted. I can't imagine. And you get driving in those storms like that. I've done it myself in Montana in the winters. It's blizzarded. Oh, we gotta get to Montana. You gotta go to Lincoln because they got brunch going at 11. What a waste of time. You can't. It's too late for breakfast. It's too early for goddamn lunch. So you got overpriced brunch. Be careful out there driving. There's no reason for people to be driving 70 miles an hour in a dust storm. Blizzards. But we do it all the time. It's Montana. I remember Montana when I first was up here, came in here to Great Falls, and everybody can't drive because it's 55, can't drive because it's 55. Sammy Hager's singing along. Next thing you know, Montana's like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to have no speed limit. Had a 944 going from here to Helena. Came out of the Wolf Creek Pass, come up over past Seaman and down through that straightaway. I looked down, it's doing 148. Just so little slow driving in the dust storms, but it's tragic. It's tragic. And when I read that, I'm like, geez, Louise. Couple events coming this weekend. We've got fair starting Friday or next Friday. Who knows? Still looking for cheap tickets. I think I'll go after the show down to the I was going to call it the field house, but the arena, and see if there's anybody there and see if they got any tickets. I don't want front row. Oh, hell no. You want like 10 rows back, 11 rows back. 12 would be perfect. 13 OSA. Also this weekend, the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. Is that the car or the bottles of wine?
Thunderbird wine, I think.
Thunderbird wine. They'll be here. The wine, they're going to bring wine. No,
that's the sound they make.
The whining. I always thought the drinking the wine. Do they even make Thunderbird wine anymore? Anyway, the air show. It's not the Blue Angels, it's the Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds, F-16.
Yeah, they're going to be here at the airport in both days. Air show Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't.
Check your local news outlets. Is that good?
I've had
tell people, you know. I'm harping on this. Here we are in July. People are still leaving kids, dogs, in the car. There's nothing I can say. So, please don't even take your animals out. Remember, Putin's really pissed. Everything's still going on in Ukraine. We're not hearing a word because nobody really wants you to know. I'm thinking that if Putin's lost, I've heard 30 to 38,000 troops over there. He's not a freaking happy camper, so keep with your duck and cover drills. Those of you in New York City, what are they doing in New York?
Yeah, they had a public service announcement telling them to go inside in case of a nuclear blast.
Go inside. Okay, so...
And don't ask how or why, just go inside.
Go inside. So the state of New York says if Putin gets mad, and I'm telling you if Putin gets mad, either go inside or duck and cover. Hey, how about if you go inside and duck and cover? That will save your ass. No. Remember to spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop. Kiss your dog. Have a great week. Until next week. Andy, are we done?
Let's wind it up.
Let's wind it up. Everybody, thanks for coming in today. We will see you next Monday. Love ya.